Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the most overpowered domination strategy of all time. It's going to be the mass greenskin artillery, triple doom diver, quad rock lobber facing off here against Grand Cathay on the Crucible. Now, one of the reasons why this strategy has some viability on the Crucible is because of this giant erect hill here in the middle. So for example, if Cathay came in with crane gunners or if they want to use any sort of cannons, they're not going to be able to really target your rock lobbers effectively without getting something like up and over the hill or getting on the side. So you can kind of just sit back here and accrue some pretty good value. Now, yes, it is a small map. Small maps do often mitigate the effectiveness of artillery because they don't have as long to shoot. But honestly, the greenskin artillery in general only has 400 range, so you're going to be able to, get some nice shots as they advance. And if they want to push up and over the hill, you have the advantage of having the home spawn points and all that sort of good stuff. So 4 rock lobbers, 3 doom diver catapults. We're going to be using the giant river troll hag as our lord, and I figure she's got pretty good utility for defending artillery because she herself has good mass. She can also mither anything that tries to get in your backfield with the slowing ability, and if some Jade Lancers get back there and we don't really have much to defend, we can pop a Fate of Bune on those bad boys, knock them down, and then send one of our Haggard units to finish them off. So that's basically the strategy, is just to shell the hell out of these guys. And I'm facing off against Professor Pone. He will not play Cathay without bringing one of the Dragon Lords just because they're way cooler. So the Doom Diver catapults are going to be focusing down the Dragon Lord, and the Rock Lobber is basically everything else. So the rest of the army is going to be Orc Boar Boy Biggins. Obviously, if you're going for a mass artillery strategy, which did have some play in Warhammer 2 land battle, you would have like some sort of a mobile cav corps to defend said artillery against mobile aggression. So we got 2 Orc Boar Boy Biggins, which will dominate any Cathay cavalry. And we do have Nasty Skulkers and Goblins to play the side points. Now for Professor Pone's army, he's got Jade Warriors and Crane Gunners. Crane Gunners aren't bad on the Crucible. You can park them up on this hill, and they can, more or less cover all these objectives here. So they can get 1, they can get 2, they can get 3. It's a little bit tricky, depends on the line of sight, but if you're like right here, you can definitely hit objective 3 and objective 2. Uh-oh, the sirens are coming for this greenskin build here. You can hear them outside. But yeah, he's got some Iron Hail, some Spears, Jade Warriors, obviously pretty good infantry units, and that is going to be it. So Nasty Skulker is going to go up to the middle, and these guys are going to be trying to grab that point right there. Miao Ying instantly going to be going Dragon form, and you're about to see the most haggard anti-large tactics. For some reason, I thought that like Doom Divers had anti-large at one point. That would be crazy, but look at this. Here they come. Oh my God, the heat-seeking goblins. Are they going to get her? Let's see. All right, there they go. And yeah, a couple of them hit home. See? It adds up. So Miao Yang taking a little bit of work there. We also Spirit Leech her, and if she tries to get closer, we're going to use Mither, which we do. And then we get the Morgub's Magi Marauders, which are our armor-piercing Goblin Wolf Rider archers to just kind of keep the dragon character honest. Now, it looks like Miao Yang might attack here, but look at this. You can actually smoke bomb flying units if they're over you. So Miao Ying's speed is 8 right now. Look at her trying to move. Oh my God. As the Nasty Skulkers do get the lockdown, and the Goblins are going to be heading to the high ground. And so far, so good. It's a very, very good start for us. We trade a Nasty Skulker for a lot of value on Miao Ying. Now, Doom Diver is going to keep focusing Miao Ying, and the Goblin Rock Lobber is going to be blasting. I moved them up to get a little bit more ground. Now that I saw he didn't have any cannons or direct fire, I wasn't too worried about it. I mean, the Crane Gunners can kind of get close, but they would have to be like down in the valley here, which is a bit of a dangerous spot for them. So side objective is going to be Goblin. Other objective is going to be Goblin as well. Miao Ying's still trolling about, trying to get into the backfield. She does use the Talons of the Night, but it's just a Goblin Rock Lobber. It's like a 500 gold unit, so doesn't matter too much. And 600 gold, I think is what it is. Yeah, she gets totally wrecked. Going to be forced back. She does have regrowth as well, so is going to have the capabilities of healing. But so far, the mass Goblin artillery has been doing some big work. As you can see, the Rock Lobbers are actually pounding the Jade Warriors pretty effectively. I didn't want to shoot the Crane Gunners because I felt as if their width of their formation, kind of how spread out they it really wouldn't be effective. So at some point we may shoot them, but it's not going to be the target priority. So now, Cathay is a faction that wants to stay in formation. So they're going to be sending a very big tanky unit while their main formation holds firm. So there's going to be a Terracotta, but in response to the Terracotta Sentinel, I got Orc Boar Boy Biggins, which are okay against, Terracottas if the Terracottas don't have infantry support, which this one doesn't. So they should trade well. The Hag is going to be running across. She can beat that thing with a giant sack of fish, and hopefully it'll all work out. So Goblins taking their time to capture. We got the Orc Boar Boy Biggins kind of posturing up here. Middle objective is going to be going to Grand Cathay's formation, as the Rock Lobbers just continue to generate fat value, currently 3.3 to 700. All that value is pretty much against Miao Ying, though. So if she's able to heal up with Earthbloods and or Regrowths, looks like it's just Earthblood, thankfully for me. It should help to kind of close the gap in value that we do have here. Granted, my Hag has healing too, so she's going to be heading up there. Crane Gunners get some nice shots, and we do get the Boar Boy Biggin, so the Wild Hogs have been unleashed, and they got their big poking sticks. Hopefully they'll be able to put some hurt on the Terracotta Sentinel, and what I end up doing is actually switching some of the Doom Divers to the Terracotta Sentinel, because Doom Divers actually have decent AP values. You can see the 164 and substantial, and wow, look at that. Armor-piercing missile damage is 170. Wait, how's that can't be right? It says the armor-piercing missile damage is more than the missile strength. It must be pertaining to the damage value. Okay, yeah, it's some weird calculation, but even still, it does have some pretty good armor piercing. So we get the Morgub's Magi Marauders over here. Again, armor-piercing wolves. We summon in some trolls. Stone trolls are a pretty good answer here. They do have missile resistance against Cathay shooting and should be able to put some hurt on the terracotta. And Pone's going to be responding with some Jade Lancers, which will do okay, but Orc Boar with Biggins hopefully can hold it down, although a Terror Route might become a variable soon as well. These Orc Boars are going to take some big shock damage here. Goblins trying to pile in, Stone Trolls moving as well, and on the other side, we do see a little bit of pressure coming in from Jade Warriors and Peasant Long Spearmen, but we get some Orc Boys, we get some Orc Boar Boy Biggins, who should be able to crush these Jade Warriors with a rear charge, and we continue shelling, really. Just the artillery in the back, the Goblin Rock Lobbers have been able to just crush this middle position. That's kind of been my strategy. See, the Iron Hill Gunners here beaten up is soften up the middle and then push in there with, when the Cathay melee is a little bit compromised. Now, my pigs here do get pushed back. Obviously, Terror Route's pretty scary. Terracotta Sentinel's getting a little bit lower, but now we got Trolls in here. Trolls will do well. As long as their HP and leadership doesn't get too low, they shouldn't be susceptible to Terror Routes. And yeah, Stone Trolls are honestly pretty good against Cathay if terrain is a variable. In open field, they're a little bit scary because of Iron Hails, Crane Gunners, Cannons, whatever. But if there's like terrain pieces you can kind of work with, they can definitely take down isolated Cathay units very well. Now comes the second phase of the strategy. Release the Squigs. So the Squigs are going to be coming down from the hills, and one of the best units on the Greenskin roster, hands down. The Cathay units here are very, very beat up, and they try and move up to keep me off the objective, but those Squigs are going to be feasting like the heathen kings of old. Release the Squigs! And they do jump on top, and there is the Wa. So the Wa's going down, was waiting for that, and you can see the Cathay infantry here are going to be folding like a piece of paper. More Squigs moving into the backfield, and the high ground objective is in danger of kind of flipping here. But overall, the fight continues to go well for us. Miao Ying has now made her way up here, so we're probably going to have to yield this objective with Miao Ying being here. But look at that. The Doom Diver catapults are sniping down the Terracotta Sentinel. I'm really actually curious to see their value, but we'll take a look once they fire a little bit more. Squig herds in the middle, battling Peasant Horsemen. Peasant Horsemen will trade well into them for sure. Squigs are bonus horse infantry, and their stats are very poor when they're not fighting infantry. We do get some Squigs kind of squeaking into the backfield or oinking. I find Squigs kind of make more pig-like sounds, but these are Durkid Squig Hoppers, and we can finally shut down some of these units. So we softened them up, we forced them to kind of move a couple directions, and now the dreaded Squig herd's going to be getting in there and just mulching on these ladies. Just mulching. That's going to be some big, big damage. So taking a big macro look at the battlefield, the middle objective is in our control. Top objective is a little bit more precarious. Granted, we have a pretty massive value lead, and to be completely honest, it's going to be really, really difficult for Cathay to come back this game. Incredibly difficult. Trolls beating down Miao Ying, but it looks like there is a little bit of Crane Gunner support, so the Crane Gunners have a nice position. They're piercing through the armor pretty well. But the Terracotta Sentinel should fall to the Giant Hag. She's an MVP for sure. I think that's one of my favorite units on the Greenskin roster. Just an awesome piece. It regenerates, good at combat, great lore of magic, has a slow. I think that Giant Ripper Troll Hags are just like such a staple of the Greenskins. So there you go, Terracotta Sentinel getting bombarded. He's at 2,000 HP, very, very tanky. Very, very tanky, man. 100 armor, and yeah, those things do not fall easily. More Orc Boar Boys coming in. These aren't the anti-large variants, so they're not going to be super good, but just trying to get a little bit of support to finish off Miao Ying here. And the Terracotta Sentinel sitting at 775. Should be going down to the Doom Diver fire. And let's see the Hag get in there with the steel chair. The Goblin misses. Come on, Hag, I believe. Okay, Doom Diver, soften him up, and down he goes. The Terracotta Sentinel has fallen to the Haggard Goblin tactics. Doom Diver catapults have always been a pretty interesting unit. There was a time in Warhammer 2 where they had a little bit of meta application at like sniping single entity models and things like that. Like if you knew somebody was coming in with like a dragon or something, you could get like 2 of them and just follow it the whole game, and it eventually can wear them down. So Mither is active, and Miao Ying's at 2,000 HP. Doom Diver Catapult's going to be switching to the Dragon Empress here. She continues to fight on the side point. Middle, very, very firmly held. Far side, very firmly held. And at this point, it's basically just going to be hunting down Miao Ying as the Wa continues to pour over the army. Just more and more troops pushing into the backfield. And yeah, man, it worked pretty well. Spirit Leech going down. Miao Ying very low. She's at about 1,200 HP. Might be able to get a regrowth here, but the Fish Hag has some words to have here, although it looks like the Crane Gunners in the backfield putting a little bit of jacket down, but 12,000 to 6,000. Talons of the Night coming down. Miao Ying is running for the hills. She's for sure going to get hunted down most likely by some of the scraps. And you can see an attempt in the middle of these Jade Warriors and these Jade Warrior Halberds to get back here. But look at, as soon as they move in, they instantly start getting shelled. And their HP just tanks so incredibly hard. More Squigs are going to be called in. Trolls come over from the side point. And this is going to be just sheer brutality. And I'm sure you guys are here for this. Nasty Skulkers are really good against these type of units. Yeah, obviously, if you're fighting an unarmored unit, Nasty Skulkers aren't the most cost-effective option, but the Trolls get in there, start taking them to Pound Town, and the Wa is active once again as the Rock Lobbers just tear apart these formations, just sheer brutality. So here comes the old Prison Shanks. Halberd units are one of the worst infantry clearing units in the game in general. They're very slow at clearing infantry. So you can see they start to lose that fight, they rout, and that's basically GG. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. And it's cool to just know that there's weird strategies like this that can work. Obviously, Professor Pone is a strong opponent. You know, him and I usually don't bring the most optimal armies, unless, of course, we're playing in tournaments or something like that. We're trying to experiment with things. But it goes to show that, you know, some weird builds like this can work. Like, that was actually really effective. I thought it was going to be not that great, but it was awesome at killing the SEMs. Not too much value, but it did wear them down over the course of a game. 1,000 value, 900, 800. I mean, really, really good value on those things. They only cost 600 gold. Hag did good. Pigs did okay. What else performed for us? Yeah, the Squig Hoppers. Squigs are just an awesome unit. Awesome unit. And for Pone's army, obviously, I'm not a huge fan of Crane Gunners in general, although they did get decent value against my Trolls. At least one of them did. But yeah, I wonder, you would probably just go wide. You know, like if somebody has mass artillery like this, you would just go super wide and push them down. So, you know, you wouldn't go Miao Ying. You go with a boring Dragon-Blooded Lord, and then you would just, you know, bring in like 1 million crossbows and 1 million Jade Warriors and push up. And they might not have enough to defend the position, right? That's kind of the idea. So, yeah. Anyways, GG well played. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. It was quite a bit of fun. And we'll see you guys back with more hot action soon.